Alrighty, folks, it's about that time. Welcome back. I hope your summers were wonderful. Before we get started, I just wanted to let you know our AI transcription disclaimer. While the state agency does allow the use of AI-generated transcription and/or summary tools to support note-taking accessibility during these virtual trainings, but please note that AI-generated content may contain errors, omissions, or misinterpretations of information during our training. So therefore, the AI-generated summaries and transcripts are only intended as supplemental resources and should not be relied upon as the sole source of program guidance or instruction. Therefore, it remains the sponsor's responsibility to actively participate and review the full training presentation, ask questions and seek clarification when needed, and to ensure the full understanding of all program requirements, guidance, and expectations discussed during the training/presentation. At the end of the day, though, official program guidance remains subject to USDA regulations, policy memoranda, and instructions provided by the state agency. Thank you. So this is our agenda for today. We'll be introducing our new CNP director, and then we'll be hearing from Marianne regarding the Turnip the Beet Award, and then we'll hear from Jessica regarding direct certification, and then Cass will talk to us about CEP and applications, and then you'll hear, and since Pamela's out, I will be covering her slides for the wellness committees and the FFVP. And then we'll hear from Sean regarding USDA foods. And then Edith Gonzalez will provide us a brief training on Gold Stars program. And then I'll also present the material for Farm to School. And then to conclude us, we'll have Kylie. Now, I know some of you may have already met her during our trainings here in Boise, but it is my pleasure to introduce Crystal Wilson, our new Director of Idaho Child Nutrition. Crystal?
Good morning, everyone. I am having some technology problems, so I just want to double check. Can someone give me a thumbs up if they can hear me? Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks for the introduction, Alex. I am really looking forward to the opportunity to meet each of you in person. I think I've officially hit the 1 month mark in my new role here at Child Nutrition. I want to give a shout out to my team each of them have been incredibly helpful and patient as I am onboarding and learning this new role. I do want to share a little bit about myself personally. I was born and raised in Idaho. I grew up in Jerome. Go Tigers, if we have anyone from the Magic Valley on the call. I had the opportunity to go to school at the University of Idaho and then have since lived in Boise. My husband's an educator. He's a middle school teacher and just started his 30th year. We have 3 kids. My daughter's the oldest, and we have 2 sons as well. I want to thank each of you for the work that you do. And again, I look forward to working with each of you and getting to know you.
Thanks so much, Crystal. All right, and we'll hear from Marianne regarding the Turnip the Beet Award. Marianne?
Awesome. Thank you, Alex. Go ahead and go into the next slide. Good morning, everyone. Now, I know that some of you guys have officially started your school year, and majority of you guys have wrapped up your summer meals operation, but we do have a couple more that are still operating in Northern Idaho. But I wanted to just highlight and do a reminder regarding the Turnip the Beet Award. As you guys all know, this is the award that recognizes summer food sponsors as well as SSO sponsors and really their outstanding summer food operation and the nutritious meals that they offer through their operation. And so this is really a great opportunity to highlight the work that you guys do as Idaho SFSP and SSO sponsors, what your team does, what you're offering, and really just giving yourself big kudos to what you guys do during the summer break. And so I want to just do a reminder and a plug that if you have not submitted your nomination for the Turnip the Beet Award, please do so. The nomination packet is due to me by sending it via email. That is due by September 14th so that I have time to review. And if I have any follow-up questions, I can get to you, I can get back with you, and then have time to send that over to USDA. And so I will be sure to put the link. I know I hyperlinked that in the slide below, but I'll be sure to put the link for the nomination packet in the chat box here in a little bit. But as if you have any questions or any concerns at all, or just getting access to the link, please be sure to contact me. My contact information is right there, but you all know how to get a hold of me. But I did have just one more slide, if you, Alex, if you wouldn't mind going to that, just kind of giving you guys some pro tips to earn the Turnip the Beet award. First and foremost, definitely make sure to demonstrate that meal pattern requirements are met. Please be sure that there's a clear vision or a clear documentation on your menus for SFSP or SSO if you operated that this summer, and that you've met all of the required meal components that were included in each meal. Another one is be sure to submit all of your relevant menus, and so ensure a 1 month menu is provided for each meal service offered. And so, for example, that is congregate meal service, and if you offered non-congregate meal service operation. Another thing is please be sure to be specific and detailed. Avoid any generalities, share actual food served, names of activities, and concrete examples. Please be sure to describe each of your meal service. So if you're offering both congregate and non-congregate meals, so if you're doing mobile operation, home deliveries, or parent guardian pickup, please be sure to clearly describe each type in the short answer section. Additionally, if you have different menus that you use for each meal service, so again, congregate or non-congregate, please be sure to provide a copy of both menus. Include data, so mention your numbers whenever available, so the number of children served, percent increase in food servings, and the number of events you hosted this summer. And of course, tell a story, use anecdotes to demonstrate the impact. So for example, if you had the smoothie bike, or something like that, really providing a tangible example to really tell your story, to show a picture of your operation this summer. Be sure to highlight improvements, mention any changes that you made since previous year's operation, or any response to feedback that you've implemented. Also, attach photos or documents so visual aids can strengthen your submission. Sponsors must submit a signed photo release for any photos with children pictured in the document. And then last but not least, if you can, please complete the bonus criteria. That will help you stand out and strongly consider for the awards. The 2025 recipients of Turnip the Beet Award has not been released. And so as soon as that is released, I will be sure to share that with our Idaho sponsors. And then, of course, as they work through the 2026 nomination packet, I will be sure to keep you all posted. Again, if you have any questions, holler at me. If not, I hope you all have a wonderful school year. And I think next webinar, I should be able to share some preliminary numbers of how summer 2026 went. So thank you all. That's it from me, Alex.
Thanks, Marianne. All right, and then we'll hear from Jessica regarding direct certification. Jessica?
Thank you, Alex. Next slide, please. Good morning, everyone. This is just a friendly reminder to upload your direct certification list. Also, to inform you that the direct certification letters and the 2024 updated direct certification manual is located in My Idaho CNP Download Forms Section 5. Thank you, Alex.
Thanks, Jessica. All right, and now we'll hear from Cass regarding CEP and applications. Cass?
Okay, good morning, everyone. Next slide, please, Alex. Okay, this is, first, one of the great things about CEP is that obviously meals are provided at no charge to the families. And another great Another great thing about CEP for you food service directors is that you do not need to collect applications, which is a great time saver. So this is simply a friendly reminder that not to collect applications if you are operating CEP. And if you do have any CEP questions during the year, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll be happy to assist you. That's all for me, Alex.
Thanks so much, Cass. All right, wellness committees. So these are the recipients for the awards that were given out at the ISNA annual conference in June. I'd like to congratulate the sponsors who won this year. And sponsors, if you need help with your wellness policy or committee, please reach out to these folks. They'll be good resources for that. And then fresh fruit and vegetable. So the FPP war letters have gone out. The full online training courses are due by August 28th, so next Friday. And the portal is now taking a day or two to load the training after registration or enrolling. So please plan ahead for that delay of access. There's also a quick 2-pager available in the download form section of My Idaho CNP. I'm told that specifically it's section 24 for teachers and others who will be passing out the FFVP snack. So have them sign and return this to you to keep with your records, indicating that they've been trained on the program. And then also the signing addenda will also be due on August 28th. So with that, I will turn over to Sean. Sean?
Hey, Sean. I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but I personally can't hear you, and I just want to make sure that other folks can. Alex, can you hear?
I can't either.
Okay. Yeah,
How
Sean,
about
just
now?
FYI. Oh, there you go.
There's perfect.
Okay,
Perfect.
start over.
All right, I'll start over again. So thank you. Thank you for letting me know, Marianne. Okay, so let me get rid of that on my screen. Okay, you can still hear me, right?
Yep, loud
Okay,
and clear.
for the USDA foods updates, I just wanted to let you know that our trucks have started arriving. So far, all the trucks scheduled for July and most of the trucks for August have arrived. Unfortunately, we have been notified of a shortfall of our frozen strawberry cups for the August delivery. This was a partial truckload that we had shared with another state. Unfortunately, these orders did need to be canceled. And I also wanted to let you know that the state has gone in and purchased bulk flour and tomato paste for S&F Foods and Schwann's. This means that if you diverted bulk cheese to any of these two processors, you will be receiving a credit for all three items, so the cheese, flour, and tomato paste for any of the further processed items that those two processors offered. We have updated the USDA further processed item pricing list, and it's posted on our website under the further processed USDA foods tab. This list includes the 3-item credit for those S&F Foods and Schwann's. And I also wanted to let you know that Edith Gonzalez with Gold Star Foods will be conducting a training on August 25th. That will be starting at 10 a.m. It will be via Zoom, and we will be having it recorded. I sent out Monday a list of or a email with the link to register for this training. I'll also post it in the chat. And then at this time, we also have Edith Gonzalez that's going to provide us some updates on editing USDA direct delivery orders. At this point, I'll turn it over to her.
Good morning, everyone. For those of you that don't know who I am Edith Gonzalez, the food program manager at Gold Star. I have worked with Idaho for a number of years, and I am here to support Idaho State through the USDA Foods program. Today, I'm going to be covering a little bit about our edit order functionality that we have implemented. This is now live, and you are able to see this live function on your online Gold Star portal. So thank you for joining today's training on the new order editing functionality within Gold Star online ordering system. We're excited to introduce this enhancement because it was developed directly from feedback provided by many of you. Throughout our partnership with schools, we've consistently heard that you guys are having or excited about able to modify online orders. So historically, when changes needed to be made in existing order, schools were required to contact CX reps for assistance. While our team was always happy to help, we've recognized that this process created additional work and often delayed the ability to make timely adjustments. Today, we're pleased to provide a solution that puts more control directly into your hands. This new order editing functionality allows eligible orders to be modified online, giving you greater flexibility to manage your USD orders and adjust direct delivery items when received. So during today's training, we'll be covering the business challenges and customer needs this enhancement was designed to address, common scenarios where editing an order can help save time and improve inventory management, how to identify orders that are eligible for editing, how to add items, adjust quantities, and remove products from existing orders, how to review and submit changes using the preview process, important timelines and editing restrictions to be aware of before shipments. So our goal for today is to help you become comfortable and confident using this new functionality so you can take full advantage of the added flexibility and self-service capabilities available within our ordering system. And then Alex, if you can go to the next slide, please. So before we begin with order editing, let's start with how to access the Gold Star online ordering system. On this screen, you're able to see the website address used to access the ordering platform. Simply navigate to this URL and enter your assigned username and password to sign in. Once you're logged in, you'll have access to your USDA inventory information, order history, open orders, and the new ordering editing functionality we'll review today. If you're unable to log in or have forgotten your password or experienced technical issues, please contact our help desk, which is also available on the screen. If we can go to the next slide, please, Alex. And then okay, so this training will walk you through how to use the new functionality when orders are eligible for editing and how this enhancement helps reduce manual steps while improving the overall ordering experience. Next slide, please, Alex. So before we dive into functionality, it's important to understand the customer challenges this enhancement was designed to address. This feature was developed directly in response to feedback from our school partners who needed greater flexibility after submitting their USDA direct delivery orders. The first challenge occurs when new inventory becomes available after an order has been placed. Historically, if additional USDA cases were received or allocated, schools had to contact a CX rep and those items to add onto an existing order or creating a new order. This created delays and additional work for both you and our team. The second challenge involves inventory over allocation. In districts with multiple sites or when multiple orders are entered, it's possible for the total quantity ordered to exceed the available allocation. And then I'll show examples later out through so you guys are able to see what those look like. This can result in negative available inventory balances that need to be corrected. Schools need the ability to quickly remove items or reduce quantities to align orders with available inventory. The third challenge is simply correcting mistakes. Whether it's an incorrect quantity, a missed item, or an item that no longer needs to be delivered, schools occasionally need to make adjustments when an order has been submitted. Previously, these changes required assistance from our CX reps. By introducing online order editing, we're giving our school partners more control over their orders, reducing manual process, and creating a more efficient experience for both our customers and internal teams. Ultimately, this enhancement helps make USDA inventory more effectively while allowing our teams to focus on higher value customer support activities. If we can do the next slide. One of the most common scenarios of school partners encounter is when additional USDA inventory becomes available after they've already submitted their orders. The screenshot on here shows it from the USDA on request report. The USDA on request report is a report that will show incoming inventory for the school year. We have all orders for the entire school year that you guys are able to see on the USDA on request report. And then on here, you're also able to see, if you can look at the very right far, you'll be able to see your USDA item number for that, your Gold Star item number, which is a 5 series item number for your direct delivery items. You'll be able to see the sales order number, which is your sales order number as well if you are looking it up in WBSCM. And you'll be able to see the quantity of cases incoming that you have for the school year. And then the due date is an expected receive date for when these items will arrive in warehouse. And then keep in mind they are expected receive date until that vendor schedules an appointment into our warehouse is when you'll be able to see that update reflected, and then you'll be able to see your actual inventory in your USDA live inventory once available. So with online order editing, schools can make these updates themselves, allowing them to react quickly to newly available inventory, maximize utilization of their USDA entitlement dollars, and maintain greater control over their ordering process. This is a great example of how the new functionality improves efficiency while providing a more flexible and customer-focused experience. You can do the next slide. So another common challenge for our school partners is managing inventory balance across multiple sites and multiple orders. The USDA Live Inventory Report provides real-time visibility into inventory status by displaying 3 key values: quantity on hand, quantity on order, and quantity available. As I mentioned, the Live Inventory Report, you can do the next slide, please, Alex. As I mentioned, the live inventory report is what you actually have in warehouse. So the USDA on request is what you have incoming for the school year, and will have expected receive dates into the warehouse. Your live inventory will actually reflect what's currently available in warehouse for you to place on order. So when the quantity available is a positive number, as you can see, for example, the beans are a positive number, schools may have additional cases available that can be added to existing orders included in future orders. When the quantity available is a negative number, it indicates that more inventory has been allocated across the orders than is actually available. This situation can occur when multiple sites place orders against the same inventory allocation, or when ordering activity exceeds available balances. Using this report, schools can quickly identify inventory shortages and determine how many cases need to be removed from an existing order to bring inventory back into balance. Prior to the order editing enhancement, resolving these discrepancies required contacting a customer service rep to manually adjust orders. Now schools can review their inventory available, identify affected orders, and make necessary quantity reductions through our online system. This provides a greater flexibility and faster resolution of inventory discrepancies. The third challenge we identified was the need to make general order corrections. Sometimes an item is missed, quantities are entered incorrectly, or plans change after an order has been submitted. Unlike the first 2 examples, these situations don't require a separate report or process. The same edit order functionality we've discussed can be used to make these adjustments quickly and efficiently. So now let's walk through the actual order editing function and how that works. We can do the next slide. So after logging into the system, navigate to your open orders as shown on the screenshot. Eligible orders will display an edit order button in the last column. Not all orders can be edited. To be eligible for editing, the order's scheduled shipment date must be at least 10 business days in the future. So this is an important cutoff to take in mind. So we are still currently using a 10 business day editing function for you guys to be able to edit any of your orders. This cutoff allows our operations and warehouse teams adequate time to prepare and fulfill shipments accurately. If an order falls within 10 business day window, you'll be able to edit. You will not be able to edit the order function. So it has to be past 10 days and more for you to edit. If we can do the next slide, please, Alex. Once you select the Edit Order button, the original order quantity will open and display the quantities that were previously submitted. In this screenshot, the red box highlights the original quantity that was ordered. This provides a reference point so you can easily see what initially requested before making changes. In the blue box, you'll be able to display current USDA direct delivery available. This information allows you to compare your existing order against your available inventory and determine whether additional cases can be added or whether quantities need to be reduced. If you need to add more inventory that's not currently on this order, so if you're trying to add in an item that you don't see currently on this open order, you will actually need to go into the item number, enter in that new item number, and enter in the quantity of cases that you would like to add to that order. So to make this process easier, we recommend starting with the USDA Live Inventory Report. This report provides the most active and current inventory available, including the GSF item numbers that you will need to enter and the quantities. As you make changes, whether you're increasing quantities, decreasing quantities, or adding new products, the system will calculate the updated order and allow you to review all modifications before submitting your changes. When editing an order, customers have the flexibility to increase quantities, decrease quantities, and newly available inventory, or make other corrections to an existing line item. If a customer needs to completely remove an item from an order, they can simply change the quantity to 0. So if you're trying to actually remove the whole item line on this open order, you'll need to actually enter in 0, preview, and then submit to make those changes. Before any changes are finalized, the system provides a preview screen where customers can review all modifications and confirm that the order reflects their intended changes. So once reviewed, you can hit submit so the changes are taken, and it'll take a few minutes within our system for that to be reflected and updated. If you can do the next slide. So after completing your order edits, the system will display the preview order changes screen. This step is designed to give you an opportunity to carefully review all modifications before submitted. We strongly encourage you to take a few moments to verify that all changes are accurate, especially when adding new inventory, reducing quantities to resolve negative balances, or making corrections to existing orders. The preview screen provides a summary of the changes you've made, allowing you to compare the updated order against your intended revisions. If you identify any errors, or need assistance making additional changes, you can return to the order editing screen and make those adjustments before submitting. Once you have reviewed and verified the information, select the Submit Changes button highlighted in the red box. So it's that green button on the top. This action will save your updates and apply the changes to the order. Think of the screen as the final quality check before your order is updated. So taking a moment to review the details can help prevent mistakes and ensure your order reflects exactly what you intended. So once you select Submit Changes, the system will display a confirmation screen indicating that your order has been successfully submitted. So if you can see on the bottom right, that email is actually an automated email that's sent to you guys. It's whoever you guys have assigned to be your program, your main point of contact. If you guys are unsure of who your main point of contact is or need that updated, you can send myself or your CX rep an email letting them know who needs to be the main point of contact so you guys are receiving these email confirmations. It takes about also 15 to 20 minutes for our system to actually process any changes that are completed. So during this 15 to 20 minutes, I wouldn't make any additional changes to that order until you've verified that your initial adjustments have been completed. You can do the next slide, Alex. As part of the order editing process, the system automatically validates inventory available before allowing changes to be submitted. If a school attempts to add more cases than are currently available, the system will display an error message and prevent the changes from being processed. This helps ensure that inventory remains accurate and prevents over-allocation of USDA product. Schools may also encounter this message when attempting to resolve a negative inventory balance. In these situations, simply reduce some of the quantity may not be enough. The updated order must fully resolve the negative inventory before the changes can be submitted successfully. So when an error message appears, recommend reviewing the USDA live inventory report to confirm available quantities. So the system will stop you if you are trying to overorder units. It will give you that same pop-up error you're seeing. It'll give you the item number and the amount of cases. I would recommend always having your USDA live inventory report open when you are trying to place that order, or just printing a copy of it so you're able to see what actual available case quantities you have on hand for each item. So it's important to remember that these validations are designed to protect inventory accuracy across all districts, sites, and orders. While the message may not temporarily prevent submission, it helps ensure that orders align with the inventory that is actually available. You can do the next slide. So to wrap it up, I'd like to thank each and every one for joining today. This enhancement was developed directly from feedback we received from our school partners. Your suggestions and insights helped us better understand the challenges you face when managing USDA direct delivery orders and played an important role in shaping the solution. We hope that the new ordering editing functionality provides greater flexibility, helps streamline your ordering process, and makes it easier to manage your direct delivery inventory changes, order corrections, and allocation adjustments independently. I also have a quick just message to give everyone. I know that you guys are aware that you are able to place any order, whether that be your direct delivery, your commercial, your further processed items on our online ordering system as far out as needed for the whole school year. You can place 2, 3, 4 months out if you are already understanding what you are placing for this month. It helps us to better forecast and make sure we have product availability for your inventory. So it'd be great help if you guys do have like menus planned out to use for certain months for your further processed or commercial, for you to go ahead and place those on our online ordering system. And that was it for me today. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks so much, Edith, for joining us. All right, and farm to school. So Pamela hopes that your summer was fruitful and full of freshness. Wanted to give you guys these two pictures here. I definitely feel like that ear of corn on the right as we get past the dog days of summer. And October is the National Farm to School Month. So be sure to celebrate local foods with harvest festivals and a crunch day during the National School Lunch Week, October 12th through the 16th. We want to use these festivities to remind kids that food is the most important school supply. Without such nourishment, learning is impossible. Purchasing from Idaho farmers supports their local economy and promotes financial literacy. And lastly, we want to remind kids that farming is a viable vocation and a potential career option. What's in season? August is by far the most abundant month of the year in Idaho. We offer about 25 of the 30 items on this list. And this list and other information about local food is available on the Idaho Preferred website. And so when you're out shopping, be sure to look for that Idaho Preferred logo. That's how you know you are supporting local Idaho farmers. And with that, I'll hand it over to Kylie for professional standards. Kylie?
Awesome. Thanks, Alex. Good morning, everyone. You can go to the next slide, Alex, please. We just wanted to give you a friendly reminder as you're starting your school year this year on professional standards tracking. So if you didn't know, FNS has changed to FNA. So we have an FNA professional standards tracking tool, essay, Excel sheet, and Word doc. You can find those in My Idaho CNP under download forms. And then just make sure you're keeping that documentation supporting completed training. It must be maintained on file to demonstrate compliance with annual training. So certain supporting documents we're looking for is certificates of completion. If you didn't know, we are rolling out a new learning management system. So get into that training portal and print out your certificates or download out your certificates, keeping things such as training agendas, sign-in sheets, making those agendas as informed as possible, and then conference schedules as well as supporting documents. And then that's all I have, Alex.
Thanks, Kylie. All right, and then this is the date for our next webinar. Be sure to mark your calendars. And then this is our non-discrimination statement and our contact list. So with that, we just wanted to open the floor to any questions.
Alex, this is Marianne. I actually want to just insert something, and Kylie actually touched upon it already, but I want to just reiterate regarding the broadcast email we sent out last Thursday, August 13th. As Kylie had mentioned, we have a new learning management system potentially rolling out hopefully soon, but the broadcast email we sent out was to all of our CNP program operators, reminding you guys to download your training certificates from the current training portal, which is the IDLA. Please do so before September 30th. And what we are asking is for you to download your training certificates the last 3 program years plus the current year, and you can save them either electronically or hard copies in your computer or in your main office. But please, please, please just be sure you as the program contact and of course the rest of your team members, please be sure to export or download your training certificates before September 30th. But thanks, Kylie, for touching on that.
And thank you, Marianne, for that reminder. Any questions?
I did have a question. I wasn't sure who to address it to, but a charter school in our county had expressed interest in possibly participating in meal programming as well, but they're not officially part of our school district. So I wasn't sure if and how they could participate in the subsidized meal programming, or if we could just sell them at the non-subsidized rate meals that they would purchase from one of our kitchens. But I wasn't sure how that process worked.
I can speak to that. If they're coming on the program as a new sponsor, you can have them just reach out to me directly at my email and my phone number that's on the screen right now, and I can talk about the options on getting onto our program.
Thanks, Nick. All right, and Kylie, any other questions? Going once, going twice? Alrighty, folks, that concludes our presentation today. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you all in September.
Bye, everyone.